Hi everyone, this is Katie Ruth. For tonight's Ed Talk, we're going to be discussing a couple chapters from 3 different books. Effective Classroom Management by Tracy Garrett, What Should I Do by Anna Richter, and Teaching the Taboo by Rick Ayers and William Ayers. So first we're going to go through the main arguments for each book. So for Effective Classroom Management, the first 3 chapters, basically main arguments for that are classroom management and how classroom management should not be the focus of focused on discipline. That should not be synonymous with classroom management. What we should be thinking about when we talk about classroom management is organizing the physical design or structure of the classroom, establishing rules and routines so that everybody knows what they're supposed to be doing and when, and that we can all be on the same page. Developing relationships, core relationships between the teacher and the student, as well as student to student. Implementing engaging instruction. And then the last piece is addressing discipline. However, the author asserts that if you do all of these things effectively, then you will spend less time addressing problems because there will be fewer problems. The book basically goes through the experiences of 3 different teachers, Amy, Anne, and Tim, to talk about their experiences in the classroom based on their different grade levels, 1st grade, 5th grade, and 9th grade. Now, these ideas are really relevant to my practice as an educator because I need to understand effective classroom management. I have that common misconception that when I hear the word classroom management, I think of discipline as well. And that's really not the goal of education, discipline. Okay, so in What Should I Do? We go through several instances of dilemmas or problems that teachers face. And one of the main ideas from this book is really understanding the difference between a dilemma and a problem. And now, a problem is something that can usually be solved by following classroom procedures or school procedures, but a dilemma is something that, according to the author, is complicated, ambiguous, interconnected to multiple situations, and packed with the potential for conflict. And as teaching is a fundamentally uncertain job, we really have the potential to run into multiple dilemmas, moral or otherwise. Then the third book, Teaching the Taboo, really spoke to me about the injustices of the world, race, religion, gender, the class, those kinds of things, and how we believe that they don't exist in the United States, but they do, and it seems to be getting worse. So I picked this quote from Teaching the Taboo. Class is always part blood sport, part group therapy, part political debate, part jaw-dropping awe, and part regret. And I see all of these things played out in the 3 books that we had to read, and I see all of these things could possibly play out in my own classroom when I become an educator. Now, part blood sport. Well, in some classrooms, it really could be a free-for-all. And part group therapy. In some classrooms, you really could get to know your students and help them through hard times, and vice versa. Part political debate. Well, in history, we seem to see a lot of that. In the history class that I had been observing, there was plenty of debate when Trump became elected and with all of his policies that he had stated he was going to be implementing, and the classroom really seemed to be divided. And as an educator, it's my job to make sure that all ideas are heard in an environment that is safe for all who are a part. And then the last part that I really want to touch on, the part of regret, really does concern my moral compass as a teacher and what I believe it to be right and wrong, and how sometimes that may not be in line with the school administration that I'm teaching for. All things that I need to take into account as I become an educator, all things that are discussed widely across all of our classrooms in the credential field, and other readings and in other classrooms that maybe not necessarily are credential focused, but really do have a point to make.